Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pascack Clutch Podcast. I'm Matthew Merlino, along with my co-host Sean Barry, Sam Koppelman, Michael McKay. Welcome back, and Alex McKay. And let's not waste any time because we only have about 40 minutes to talk about it. So, in Pascack Hills sports, we'll start with Pascack Hills football. They won in overtime against Dover. It was Dover getting off to a good start, leading 14-0 at the end of the third quarter. Then two great drives from the Broncos in the fourth tied it up. Connor O'Nickian got tush-pushed in on the way to tie things up. Then, in overtime, the first ever overtime I think any of us have seen here at Pascack Hills, Callan Ahern booted a 36-yard field goal, and then it was Josh Wright on fourth down, strip sacking the Dover quarterback to win the game for the Broncos. Congrats, Broncos. They play this Friday away against Cliffside Ridgefield Park, and then they're back home for senior night and the final regular season home game against Bergen Tech.
Two amazing games this in the same month. Insane.
And it seems that the rain brings out good games and doesn't bring out the students, so that's pretty nice. In other news, we had girls soccer defeat Park Ridge in the play-in round of the Bergen County tournament, 2-1 the final in double overtime. If you didn't watch that game, overtime, golden goal, 2 10-minute periods, and then if they didn't score, a penalty shootout. Brooke Bonanno scoring for the Broncos to put it 1-0. Then an Olympico from Park Ridge's Shriya Vadhayanathan. That's a very hard name to pronounce, and if you're watching, probably not. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. But then in overtime, too, Emily Rennie, it was a low and pretty weak shot, but it still got in to give the Broncos the win 2-1, and they play, I believe, tomorrow night against Valley at Pascack Valley in the first real round of that Bergen County tournament. And one last thing we want to touch on is girls volleyball, who after their loss on September 20th to Riverdale has won out, and only one of those matches came as a 2-1 win. That was against Ridgewood, but they've beat pretty much everybody. Holy Angels, Paramus Catholic, Indian Hills, Dumont, Glenrock, and Ramsey, all in straight sets. They're 11-1 right now. Turn up and show out for the girls volleyball team because they very much deserve it. Now, gentlemen...
Is there a pink out this year?
What?
Is there a pink out for volleyball this year?
Dig Pink home against Pascack Valley. That's, I believe, later in the month. So I think that's pink out, and that's all in support of, I believe... Breast Cancer Foundation will have that live streamed right here on the PH Athletics YouTube channel. Now, gentlemen, college football. We've got a lot of things to talk about. We'll start on Friday night with number 10 Utah losing 21-7 to conference rivals number 19 Oregon State. Big win for Oregon State there, and DJ Ugalele, who was the Clemson quarterback, I believe. 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So a nice performance from him against Utah. Now on Saturday, we had a number of big games. We'll start with the number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs just barely beating the Auburn Tigers, now 0-2 and unranked still in the SEC. 27-20 the final score in that one. And Georgia, their second straight SEC game, their first on the road. And again, it's very close. So
Very close, low scoring.
Auburn had a chance, but they blew it.
This is starting to get scary
Auburn
for Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
You really need to start putting up points again, or you may lose your top spot
Georgia's
in the nation.
Georgia has another top.
Once Georgia loses their first game, they're going to drop out of the top 10.
Georgia has
They don't
another
have enough
top.
points.
They play Kentucky this weekend. That could
Yes,
be close
number 20
too.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Both undefeated. So.
Look, they really need to step up their game a little bit.
Yes, they do.
They've
And
gotten
Especially
lucky.
for such a great program in the past couple of years, they really need to step it up.
They just keep getting lucky.
And one of those teams looking to take Georgia off of that number 1 spot, number 8 USC, coming into their game against unranked Colorado. A final score 48-41. USC led pretty much the entire way, but Colorado tried to come back at the end of it. Ended up losing only by 7. Shadur Sanders, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 371 yards. Caleb Williams, the Heisman reigning champion, 403 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception. We had an offensive battle in Boulder on Saturday.
I think that game. I don't think USC is the best team in the nation, but I think with Caleb Williams as their QB, I think that USC has the best offense in the nation. And even though Colorado did not win that game, I think Colorado did play good, and Shadur Sanders played good, and they fought they fought to the end, even though they lost by 1 touchdown. And on the onside kick, even though they did get it, Dion did say they would have scored, which I would believe. And the future is bright for Colorado. So,
Well, we'll see.
and next year they're in Big 12.
Well, they're officially out of the playoffs. Right?
Well, yeah, but it doesn't
Yes,
matter.
but
I'm just saying, like, their future is bright.
We're looking
so.
ahead. The loss of Travis Hunter still affecting the Buffaloes, but now it seems like an easy slate for them at Arizona State, at home against Stanford, and then at UCLA for the next 3 games. None of those teams are ranked. None of them look to be ranked.
Travis Hunter's out 2 more games.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll see him back, I believe, in time for that UCLA game, and then it's against Oregon State, who looks to be a dark horse, maybe making a New Year's Six Bowl this year.
They really need Colorado really needs to put their pedal to the metal at this point, because if they don't, they could easily drop out like a playoff contention.
Well,
They're
already
already
are.
dropped out.
But yeah,
They,
but like
they might not be able to get a bowl game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, for like Colorado going to the Big 12, next season, they really have to win out, get a bowl game, and win that bowl game too.
Well, they need to step up their play.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
if,
they
if
also-
if you can't win in the Pac-12, granted Oregon and USC are the 2 best teams in the Pac-12,
yeah.
but if you can't win in the Pac-12, if they lose any of these other games, a lot of questions are going to be raised.
Yeah, for sure. But
And-
like, in my opinion, if they can't win another couple games without Travis Hunter, like their playoff hopes could be completely gone next year as well.
Well, it would be.
Well, next year they're still going to have Shooter Sanders and Travis
Yes,
Hunter.
but it would be very scary with Shooter and with Travis Sanders.
Exactly.
Well,
And
is,
with
is Shadur declaring for the draft? Or
No.
no, he's staying.
Colorado's going to have all their great players.
Dion's gonna make him stay.
Yeah, Colorado's going to have all their great players again next season. Dion's going to do his recruiting transfers again. The team will hopefully be better, improved, and be better, and then there will be a Big 12. And I think Colorado. I think they have a good shot of making the playoff next season and winning the Big 12.
I think that he's not gonna go as crazy as he did this year with 116
No.
whatever.
Yeah.
He's definitely gonna have a lot this year, but we just have to really look at it closely.
In other news, we had Notre Dame coming off a tough loss to Ohio State coming into their game against number 17 Duke, ranked number 11, and it was Audric Estime who scored the game-winning touchdown, a 30-yard one. Went to St. Joe's here in Montvale, by the way, so good on him. 21-14 the final. Notre Dame defeats Duke. Sean, I understand you didn't watch much of it. I guess that means Notre Dame wins.
So for some reason this weekend, whoever I wanted to win when I watched the game, I lost. So
just keep
I
watching Notre Dame.
no.
game.
Here's the thing. I somewhat watched the game. Someone didn't. Like at
You
the
think
end
you could watch a few Michigan games and root for them?
when it was
Yeah, that could work.
when it was third down
How about
6.
Ohio State,
Hold
too?
on, let me talk. When it was third down and 16, since they were doing battles watching, I flipped the channel. Then I went back to the channel and they picked up the first down. But yeah, Notre Dame, they were lucky they able to get the win. They do have to just play better and be better if they want versus USC. After they play Louisville next weekend and then they play USC, so yeah, they have to be better and not
Yeah.
almost
So,
lose games.
Two big games coming up for Notre Dame.
Honestly, everyone in college needs to stop almost losing games.
Yeah,
If they really
pretty
want to
much.
make it.
So Notre Dame, still 1 loss. They really need to win out. And if they beat USC, and if they beat Clemson, although Clemson is having a little bit of an off year,
There were 2 last year.
we'll see. We'll see if they can make the playoffs. They're probably still a dark horse, but they're very much kind of out of the conversation right now. One last game to go over from last Saturday. Number 20 Ole Miss in Oxford defeating number 13 LSU 55-49. Absolutely no defense in this one. Jaden Daniels 414, 4 touchdowns. Jackson Dart of Ole Miss 389 and 4 touchdowns. No overtime and a lot of beer cans and Ole Miss fans on the field there. And LSU, I think we have to say, it's over. They're out of the
Yeah.
LSU, what happened?
Well, I don't care. I care about
Honestly,
Notre
so
Dame,
many
bro.
colleges are out of the running this year that you would have totally expected to make it after the first week.
It's a very weird year, this one.
Yeah.
I mean, Missouri and Kentucky are both ranked. That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
And Missouri's undefeated after 4 or 5 games now.
Yeah.
So, one last look. We'll take a look at the AP poll. Entire top 7 stays the same. Georgia, Michigan, Texas, Ohio State, your top 4. Florida State, Penn State, 5 and 6. Oregon, USC swap positions. Oregon up to 8, USC down to 9, Notre Dame up to 10 with their win, Alabama 11, Oklahoma 12, Wazoo 13 up 3, North Carolina up 14, Duke with their loss down to 19, and LSU with their loss down 10 positions to 23.
Things are starting to look scary for Bama.
Well,
they have been.
They're gonna lose the game.
It's a big game this weekend for Alabama, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. First of all, our game of the week in college football, 12 o'clock on ABC, the Red River rivalry between number 3 Texas and number 12 Oklahoma, pretty much for the Big 12 championship there as well. The matchup predictor says 50.9% in favor of Oklahoma, and Texas at 42.2%. Gentlemen, your thoughts and your picks.
I am gonna go the Sooners.
All right. Sean, what do you got here? Make it quick, please.
Yeah, I'll go with Oklahoma.
All right. 2 for the Sooners. Michael, what do you think?
It's Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Texas. They've been looking really good this year. Not to say that Oklahoma hasn't. I just think Texas may do better.
Sam?
Texas.
Yeah. I'll go with the Longhorns. Number 3 in the nation, beat Bama. See if they can do it again against the Sooners. Again, 12 o'clock ABC this Saturday, October the 7th. Other games to preview. Again, 5-0, number 21 Missouri in Mizzou against the LSU Tigers. LSU favored to win this one by a lot, but still, you can see it's only 6.5 points for LSU, although the ESPN matchup predictor says 65% LSU victory. I don't know. We'll see.
Sorry, who is it?
LSU versus Missouri. And I can't believe we're talking about a Missouri game as one of the games that we want to preview.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is, apparently.
Yeah, that's
this
the way
year.
that this year's going, I
I
guess.
think I'm gonna take Missouri in that game.
Very weird game. I'll take Missouri with the points, though. Alabama versus Texas A&M. Big game for Bama. 4-1. 2-0 in the conference. Conference loss pretty much over for them. They're number 11. A&M is unranked, but also only one loss and 2-0 in the conference. That's 3:30 CBS. That'll be a big game to watch. We'll see if Bama can keep.
I think Texas A&M has a good
Give me Texas.
QB this year to beat Bama at home.
It's Alabama 2-0. Alabama favored by 2. Texas A&M the home dog. We'll see. It's only 2 points.
I think Alabama could win.
That's
Did
pretty.
Bama make the playoffs last year?
No.
They lost to LSU.
Is things starting to look scary for Nick Saban now?
No, he's
No.
going to stay there until he retires. That's
He's
what
gonna
he's
stay there
going
till
to
he's
10 natties.
He's gonna stay there till he's 80.
Exactly.
And
He's
then-
going
But
to
what
stay.
happens
He's
if
going to
he-
stay there until he doesn't want to
But
anymore.
what happens
Yeah.
if he keeps losing? Then he's
He's staying.
He's staying.
Mike,
He's
no.
staying
he won-
either way.
He won 5 or 6 national championships. They're not getting rid of him.
He's gonna win 5.
There's just
Not
if
how it
they don't
works.
make it again, it's just another off year.
Exactly.
He's the Bill Belichick of college football.
And our last,
Yeah.
pretty much, and our last 2 games to preview. Number 20, Kentucky, undefeated, going up against number 1, Georgia, undefeated. A little bit of difference there. The odds, Georgia favored by 14.5 at home, 7 o'clock ESPN. Pretty big win for the Bulldogs, it should be. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Again,
Hopefully they don't blow it.
yeah, another weird year where Kentucky is undefeated and ranked at 20. So we'll just have to see. And our last game to preview, number 10 Notre Dame 5-1, number 25 Louisville, at 5-0. That is 7:30 ABC Saturday Night Football. Sean, the Notre Dame preview against Louisville needs to be a win.
They're gonna win.
Well, they're favored by 6.5 on the road, so
Yeah.
It's most likely gonna be another close game like the Duke game, but I think they're gonna get it done.
and
get the win.
another ACC opponent for Notre Dame.
Mhm.
Now let's shift gears and talk about something we haven't talked about in a while. That's Major League Baseball. Playoffs starting yesterday, the wild card games. We start with the Texas Rangers defeating Tampa Bay 4-0, the final in that one. No home runs for anybody. Runs driven in by Corey Seager, just one. He went 2 for 4.
Hey, it was still an eventful game.
Still a very good game to watch, but one of the best games to watch was Minnesota versus Toronto. Also in the AL, a 3-1 Minnesota win, and it was Lewis.
Yeah, Royce Lewis.
Royce
Yeah.
Lewis,
2
yes.
homers.
2 homers in
Two
that
games.
one.
To snap
Pretty
their
much.
18-game playoff skid.
pretty much single-handedly putting Minnesota on top. And as you said, 18 games it's been since they've won a playoff game. So congrats to Minnesota on finally snapping that streak. Sean, your Brew Crew, 6-3 loss to Diamondbacks in the first NL Wild Card game. Not very good. Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, and
Back to
Moreno. Yeah, Carroll and Marte back-to-back home runs, and then Moreno adding on one to make it 6-3 Brewers. All right at the plate, it was only the right fielder Tyrone Taylor who went yard in their 6-3 loss. They do play all the games in Milwaukee. Game 2 for all of these series are today on the ESPN networks, ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC. Check your local listings to find the time and the exact channel. And the last game, the Phillies defeating the Marlins in the NL East battle that none of our Mets fans want to see. 4-1 the final there, and the Phillies looking back on their form. No home runs, but Harper getting in, Real Muto getting in, Stott getting in, and Rojas getting in. All a good job from the Phillies. Let's see if they can keep it up and head to the division series.
Even though I'm a Mets fan, I do have to say I do hope the Phillies win this matchup.
Yeah,
I want them to beat the Marlins, because then last year they had a really good match against the Braves, which they ended up taking the series. I mean, they went all the way to the World Series. I mean, they lost, but they still made it. So I think the Phillies could be a really solid team to make it to at least the NL championship.
Yeah.
And
well, we'll see. And I want to talk very quickly about the Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers. Rangers led the division for what?
They led
300 days, something like that. It can't be that.
It was
that's not the right
Rangers.
number, but it was.
The Rangers led for like 2 solid months.
Yes, it was a lot.
Yeah.
The Astros led the division for what, 20 days?
They led
just about.
Yeah,
for about 20 days. But
and then they just started going off.
And then they just started
as soon as they got Verlander, they just started going off.
Of
The
course.
Rangers,
and now they've got a first round bye.
I'm actually surprised the Mariners didn't make it.
I'm surprised as well.
They went.
Well, that division was very good to watch this year.
Yeah.
Plus, the Mariners went 60-60 on their last 120 games,
which is not what they needed to do.
No, but they had a really good start. So the first 42 games.
Yeah, but their last 120, that's pretty much what matters.
It's exactly what matters.
Let's be honest, unless you go undefeated or go like 10 losses before the All-Star break, all that matters is what happens after it.
Yeah.
You want to be about 40-20 at least by the All-Star break.
Yeah.
That's where the Mets and Braves were. Last year.
I guess. Last year that makes more sense.
This year the Mets were
at least you want to be. At least you want to be is like 35-25.
Yeah. You want to have around 35+ wins.
Yeah.
Yep. And with that, again,
because it pretty much seals your deal.
And again, your wild card games for Major League Baseball Game 2. Remember, it's a best-of-3 series, so if it's 2 wins for one team, they move on. Game 2, all of them are today. Between, I believe, 2 and 8 p.m. are the start times on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. Check your local listings for the exact time and channel. And now, in everybody's favorite sport, the National Football League will start Thursday night. Detroit beating Green Bay 34-20. Goff going off, 210, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But it was Jordan Love who outplayed him, 246, 1 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions.
Yeah, Jordan Love had a really good game.
Very good game for Jordan Love. Unfortunately, the Packers not able to.
Pretty sure he put up like 20. He had 8 fantasy points.
I'm not sure. He says 246 and a touchdown, but he had 2 picks as well.
Yeah, but it was.
And I believe one of those was a pick 6.
Something like that. But the whole game was David Montgomery's game.
Absolutely.
32 carries for 121 yards and 3 touchdowns. Yeah. You don't see that every
Can't even complain about Jordan Love this year.
No. He's done very well. It's just the team around him hasn't performed up to standard.
This is my bit of a hot take. I think Jordan Love may be like the next Aaron Rodgers. I think he can live up to the hype that.
Well, he
potentially it's way too early.
He needs receivers.
Yeah,
bro,
and that's how it's always been in Green Bay.
I said before.
They always need receivers. They always need no line.
I said before that
Aaron Jones, but
I said before this season that Jordan Love was going to be good, and not Matt, but like some of you said that he's going to do bad. The Packers are going to stink. And he's playing great right now.
And they're not doing the best.
But still, Jordan Love is a good QB.
Yes, he's done very well, and he's outperformed most of his matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
I guess we'll see.
That's all I can say. I can't complain.
This upcoming week, when they verse the Raiders on Monday Night Football.
Yep.
I guess that'll be the real test.
Is
real
Jimmy G playing?
I don't think so.
I think it's still Aiden O'Connell.
How is that a real test?
It's not a real test.
How is he versing a test when he's versing the Raiders?
That's what I'm saying.
Because if
I'm
he
a
could beat
diehard Raiders fan, and it's not a test.
Because if he could beat a team that's not too good,
stop talking.
Well, we'll see.
The Raiders.
I'll go my Raiders rant in a
Can't
bit.
beat Pittsburgh with Kenny Pickett.
Our game of the week last week was Miami versus Buffalo. It was close for a
Kenny
while.
Pickett
Buffalo ran away with
No,
it,
he's not.
48-20. And Sam, Michael, and me, we all picked Miami, so good on us. Congrats to Sean and Alex on that one. Josh Allen, 320 yards,
40
4
fantasy
touchdowns,
points.
and only 4 pass attempts that were not completed. 282, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Yeah.
What a performance from Josh
40
Allen.
fantasy points.
And what about
My man.
Stephon
40.
Diggs? 6 receptions for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the rookie from Miami, Devon Achane.
Yeah.
He had, I believe, he had 8 carries for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Crazy.
He had 24 fantasy points, and Diggs had 30 fantasy points.
And he's on my team.
It was a very interesting game, I guess.
All right, this is how I see why Miami lost. You just put up 70 points, becoming second in history.
Or maybe because they were just versing the Broncos.
Well, just because they were
70 points against the Broncos.
What's the Broncos?
You had so much going for you, but then the pressure of can
Because
they perform like
Buffalo's
this
an
again
act-
in the next game?
No,
Because
there was no
Buffalo-
pressure on them to perform like that again because it's the Broncos.
Yeah, and Buffalo is an actual good football team
They actually have a
compared to the
defense.
Broncos.
They're one of the few teams that actually has a
can't-
really good defense.
You can't compare Broncos and Bills.
Absolutely not.
I think it's gonna be.
They're in 2 separate worlds.
You could
Yeah.
you could compare maybe 2015 Broncos and current day Bills, but you couldn't.
The Bills have one of the
absolutely
best
not.
defenses in the NFL. They're not going to put up 70 against Buffalo.
I'm not saying put up 70. I'm just saying, I would have thought Miami would have maybe done a bit better.
Buffalo has the best safeties. Of course, they're going to stop the deep
best
passing.
safeties. They have some of the best corners.
Well, that was our normal game of the week last week.
Tre'Davious White is actually out for the season. I
Yes.
believe.
It doesn't matter. Still have Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer.
Don't forget about
White is the best
Milano.
corner.
Matt Milano.
Yeah. Well, Buffalo-Miami was our normal game of the week. Our sickos game of the week last week was Denver versus Chicago.
Well,
And I guess at the end, it wasn't exactly a sicko game unless you were a Bears fan. 28-7, they were up by pretty much the end of the third quarter. They had a 98.1% chance to win. At one point, Broncos come back, win 31-28.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter, though. Because whatever the deal is, both franchises should contract. We should go back to 30.
And may I add, the Bears are the only team, I believe, from what I've seen, are the only professional sports team in the U.S. who have not won a game since Elon Musk bought Twitter back in October of 2022.
Very good.
It's been pretty much a year, and the Bears have not won a game.
Very good. Very good.
Dang.
I saw a meme online.
Every other professional sports team, WNBA, NBA,
WNBA.
MLB.
Literally everybody.
And yesterday, Sam showed me
listed on there.
something about Zach Wilson and Patrick Mahomes. Apparently, Zach Wilson is
He's the only QB in college or NFL
to beat Patrick Mahomes.
Have better stats in the game.
That's why he's the GOAT. We'll get to the Jets eventually, but I want to talk a little bit about Puka Nacua. 9 receptions, 163 yards, 1 touchdown in the Rams' 29-23 win over the Colts in overtime, by the way. And Stafford with pretty good game, 319, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
Rookie of the year.
Nacua,
We'll see.
His stats
he's got to put it up throughout the year.
Anthony Richardson, Rookie of the Year, bro.
Yeah,
Speaking of Puka
I can see that, but
he has joined Cooper Kupp and Megatron as in the top 3 best starts to an NFL season for a receiver.
Yep.
And guess who the QB was to all 3 of those players?
Stafford.
Matthew
Matt
Stafford.
Stafford.
Yeah.
When that happened, crazy.
Watch the Rams win the Super Bowl this year.
I think the reason
No,
why the Rams
honestly, no, I don't see that.
the reason why the Rams did bad last year is because they didn't have Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp on their offense.
They also lost.
Look,
Now
they
you have
still don't have
players.
Cooper Kupp
You
either.
still don't have Cooper Kupp, but you have Matt Stafford back, and look how he's done.
Well, he has
They
receivers.
already look like a complete different team than last
Well,
season
he's had
after coming off
receivers.
that Super Bowl hangover.
And
Yeah.
Kyrie,
I think-
Kyrie Williams.
Kyrie Williams, the running back's been doing really
It's
good.
Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams.
Close enough. He had 2 touchdowns in that game early.
Yeah, he's been averaging 20 fantasy points.
Yeah.
The whole
Sean
season.
McVay, he's a good head coach, but when you have the right players on your team, he can really make that team look like something else.
I agree.
And from the NFC West to the NFC East, Sam, your Eagles surviving a scare against the
Yeah,
Commanders.
I was like pooping
I'm
myself
just gonna
that
say this
entire
now. If the Eagles lost that game, we would have won Eagles. What happened?
Yep. 34-31.
I know, and I
winning
would've
in
been crying.
overtime.
You were up 17-10 going to halftime, and then
No, we weren't. We were down.
Philadelphia
No, yeah,
almost
you were
lost
down.
to a
Yeah,
team
you were down
that
17-10.
failed to score a touchdown against the Bills the week prior, I believe.
Yeah, no, the Commanders scored 3 points against the Bills
Yep.
in week 3.
Yep.
And then they put up 31 against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So,
I
again,
thought the Eagles had a good defense.
this just shows
We're
you
a bunch of
how
rookies. It's fine. It's chill.
how better
We're getting
how
there.
better the
They're working.
AFC is to the NFC. Sam Howell with a very good game for Washington,
He's been doing
290
really
and
good.
1
Yeah.
touchdown. Hurts 319, 2 touchdowns. So a pretty good game for both quarterbacks and a pretty good game to watch overall. It would have been so fun.
there was
Howell-
there was a really
Howell-
good stat I saw online about Jalen Hurts.
Oh.
It was that there's only about 70% of QBs, or like 9 QBs in the league, have thrown over 70%, and then only a few have thrown over 9.0 average like passing attempt, and Jalen Hurts is both,
How about that?
and he's the only one in both.
Good
Let's
on
just see if
Hurts.
that continues through his career.
Now to the McKays.
Yeah.
Raiders Chargers 24-17. Aiden O'Connell in his first start, 238, 1 interception, outdoing Justin Herbert, at least in the yardage category. He had 167, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick of his own.
Time for my Raiders rant.
Here goes Michael saying why Josh McDaniels should be thrown in the Hudson River.
As he should be.
It's like the 5th time I've heard this rant. Probably.
Okay.
Let him talk. Let him cook.
Okay.
Gosh.
Jimmy G gets a concussion, and he can't play the game. So you decided to start your rookie quarterback, Aiden O'Connell, which he had a fine game for a rookie debut, but Josh McDaniels wasn't doing it for him. I felt like once the Raiders were at the goal line, ready to come back and possibly
Run the
Score the
ball.
and take the bag, you should have run it, but you throw it and get rid of it, and then
He
you
did with
go.
the Seahawks.
And then after the game, you blame your rookie quarterback and throw him under the bus. You're gonna lose the locker room. You're gonna lose your fans even more than you already have, and
That's
You're
it's just terrible.
you're gonna lose.
He
You're
pulled
not
It's a
gonna.
terrible look.
He
never
pulled the
never
Seahawks.
deserved the job.
You're
Should've
never
went
gonna
to
get.
Versace.
You're gonna go back to New England and play under Belichick.
He pulled
All
the
right,
Seahawks. In the
we're
Super Bowl.
running out of time very quickly here, so I'm going to stop you and talk about the Jets real quick. Who cares about Taylor Swift? Jets almost won, but the refs missed a holding call and called a holding on Sauce Gardner. 23-20 final there. Chiefs beat the Jets. Seahawks beat Giants 24-3 on Monday night. Giants, what happened? Next week,
As always.
Jacksonville, Buffalo, big game in London, 9:30 a.m. Jacksonville with the advantage there because they stayed there.
Oh,
Actually-
wait. Also, the Giants and Jets have both not had a drive where they have been in the lead this season.
Of course.
Yeah.
Giants play the Dolphins. Good luck to them. They're going to get smoked. Watch the Dolphins put up the record.
Dolphins
Dolphins are
put
good.
up 75 points.
My
Eagles,
pick, Dolphins win.
yeah, Eagles play the Rams in L.A. Jets play the Broncos. Revenge game for what's the guy's name? Hackett. And then our game of the week, Sunday Night Football, Cowboys Niners. Boys, let's make this quick. Sam, you're up first.
Niners.
All right, Michael.
Brock Purdy and the Niners.
Oof. Sean, what do you
Niners.
got? That makes sense.
CMC.
Alex.
CMC and the
Yeah,
Niners.
CMC with the record
Yeah.
as well.
I'm gonna
It's
be-
pretty
Speaking of,
much.
he was on my fantasy team.
I'm gonna be
yeah.
a little stat guy for a second. Brock Purdy is undefeated in any game he has played
He's
the full
12
game.
and he's 12-0 in the last. Well, yeah, the 49ers are on a 14-game regular season win streak, and Brock Purdy has won 12 of those games and started 12 of those games. Also, I was gonna add when you were talking about the Jets, there was a meme. It was about how Zach Wilson pretty much Travis Kelce was looking up at the booth at Taylor Swift
and Zach Wilson was looking at Travis Kelce's mom, yes.
Yeah.
We had And then Monday night next week, your guys' Raiders against Jordan Love and the Packers. Packers actually favored by 2 points on the road,
Not
so
surprised.
we'll see.
Watch McDaniel sell another game, and then Mark Davis is going to be to the fans, smarten up. Mark Davis should smarten up and fire Josh McDaniels.
I don't know.
Bring in an actual head coach who knows how to play football.
Nah, bro. Watch him just keep McDaniels, I swear.
And then one last thing before we go in the world of soccer. Spain, Morocco, and Portugal, it was announced just a few moments ago, will host the 2030 World Cup. But in celebration of 100 years of the World Cup, Paraguay, Argentina, and Uruguay will play their first games in South America because that's where the first World Cup was hosted.
I think they're gonna have it.
Uruguay.
I think they're gonna have one in every country down in South America this year. I don't know what's gonna happen. They haven't announced anything.
No, but it was just rudimentary.
Yeah.
Nothing really has been announced. Of course, that's after the 2026 World Cup here in the States, Canada, and Mexico.
We'll learn more within the next few years.
Yeah,
Exactly.
easily.
So we thank you all for joining us. Another quick and action-packed episode of the Pascack Clutch podcast for Sean Barry, Sam Koppelman, Michael McKay, and Alex McKay. I'm Matthew Merlino. If you want to make your picks, go down in the description to the Google form if you're watching on YouTube. Well, you have to be watching on YouTube. And for now, so long, and have a good week.